Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. This is Martin Wong here, coming with you live for another session. This is definitely on Wednesday, and Wednesday we usually look into the ST2, which is what we call the Stage 2 shares. Of course, many of you may have subscribed to our monthly pass and are able to access this market that we have right now, and that's definitely going to be good. But don't forget, also remember to click on to the poll that we have set up for you. Which sector do you think will bore well in 2022? All right, just click in there and let him know, and the result will be available at the end of the poll. I think many of you are starting to key in there, as it's not that much of a big surprise if the answers is something that we already been talking about in our past session in here. But let's take a look at what we have for you this morning. That's right, let's take a look. Now this morning, as you can see, we are on the Wednesday, and we'll be looking at some of the Stage 2 share, ST2, daily list in here, and this time we'll be looking at a range of the shares rather than just picking one or two shares in here. But definitely our news roundup this morning in here. Now HSBC has done recently another work, one of those economic outlook, and they are really saying things that we already know before, which is the expected growth, economic recovery. But something that they did not talk about is the pending so-called general election 15, which should be out by 2023. That's something that has already been missed out in here. All been said, things are looking very, very positive. As I said before, the pillar of growth for Malaysia, largely consumption, investment, blah, blah, and so forth. And they are looking for a 5.6% GDP growth with a little bit of 6% of the running on deficit. So it's going to be pretty much expandatory with higher consumption and influx of infrastructure spending, which has been on hold. So I don't see our economy getting any worse or getting it better. It's pretty much going to stay at where it is, a status quo for much of the affair in here. Now, on another slightly better news would be our stocks that we are talking about in here is no other than Tues. That's right. Now Tues, it's one of the so-called growth stock, and they'll be going into fair bit of acquisition. The more recent one was Tues. So in here, the analyst likes it because there is a potential 20 to 30% growth in here. So they are looking for a buy call at 245. Now let's take a look at the market at Tues. Let's type in the CTIOS. You can see Tues on the fundamental and stock chart. You can check it out. But on the stock chart, it looks pretty decent. It has a blue pentagon in here blue pentagon, and it has a buy call at 245. You can check it out there, and 245 in here. So a fair bit of upside going from here onwards. And why I also like this is because of the highly cash generative in nature, being 65% of the total revenue stream are being recurring. All right, so as long as people continue to subscribe to it, they will likely to generate 65%, and that's something very good in any of the business model in here. And Tues right now may see some growth going into the future. But having said that, you can see Tues about 90% Pentagon flow here. Last close about 187 in there. All right, so let's take a look at the next news. Is crude oil prices. Now we all know crude oil prices hit 5,000 ringgit on the third month contract in here, and this is largely to be contributed by La Nina, the phenomenon that we see, and also resulting in the delay in the soya bean planting in South America, and also lower seasonal production cycle according to the Hong Leong Investment Bank. So the research house added that slower growth export to China as the winter season slows that in here, but mitigated right by the planting season. So they will give you a base, and they felt that for the base price, in my opinion, is a bit low, from 2,900 ringgit to 3,500, but right now it's 5,000 ringgit, which is almost more than 50%, or something like 30 to 40% for where it is. Do we see CPO prices coming down? But one thing for sure, the plantation sector will remain to be bullish at these high prices in there, as we have seen for some of you who have done a lot of trading on that side. So if you have not done the polling, please go ahead and do the polling that you see, and you're able to see what are the sector which is will be bullish in year 2022. All right, please go ahead and do that, and we will show the results in the video. All right, now let's move on to our next news, which is on the US market. Now last night we have US market breaking back after hitting the support, right, for definitely on the, let's take a look at the US Dow Jones in here, S&P 500, switching to a wider chart, and you can see from here onwards the S&P 500 did rebound back, and you can see that's a very, very nice spring that you can see, right? 4650. I was looking at 4560 for being the low, but it did have a spring and the market rebound back in here. So you can see the 4650, it's really a great support, and many of the institutional are looking to buy on every dip. And of course, yesterday the stock also got another boost that they were waiting for, which is the comment from Jerome Powell saying that they're prepared to act, but they will last longer than expected, which means they will do, but we have to wait and see. But keep in mind also, by raising interest rate, so right now the economists all over the world are talking about raising interest rate. They may raise it, but they may just so-called comply to do a little bit more than it should, because don't forget the number of debts that US have is close to about 3.5 trillion. So anytime when they raise a debt, that means they have to pay more for the higher interest rate, because many of the treasury bonds are owned by foreign institutions like from Japan and China in here. So keep in mind that interest rate, yes, they will raise it, but how soon and how fast, it's yet to be seen, because any interest rate rise will means they're going to be paying more. So in my opinion, if you can see from chart right now, the US market correction may have ended, and as long as Jerome Powell have this statement in here, the market will continue to absorb all the news that we have seen and yet play around in this market in here. Okay, and the other stock seems to be correcting right now is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has corrected many times. Bitcoin are really following the equity right now. So it's maybe a good time to take a look at the Bitcoin for those of you who are investing. Bitcoin right now is stabilizing at 42,000. And this news that is coming out from Barron's asking people to look at Mara and also looking at Riot. I think we have Riot here, ROIT. Okay, ROIT in here. You can look at stock chart you can see Riot. It's actually forming right at, just switching to a wider chart here, you can see Riot just turned red pentagon, and who knows, the green pentagon may come back soon, that we see the rebound in the Bitcoin. So take a look at this one in here for Riot in here. No doubt it has fallen from the Grace high, used to be around the 37, almost $40 here. $30-40, but now have fell right into the $25. Now remember, some of these Bitcoin mining stocks are very volatile. Okay, having said that in here, if you cannot stomach it, you shouldn't trade it. But if you do want to invest it longer term, which I advocate, have a small position into that. All right. So let's move on to the Singapore side on the SGX, and let's take a look at the SGX. Clicking on the SGX in here. SMARTRobie, and looking at the market, has it turned green pentagon? Yes, it did turn green pentagon on early January. You can see this market right here, very similar to our KLCI, continue to move up too, right? So all markets are already turned green. Previously, the Singapore market hasn't turned up, but it's turning. So that means likelihood the S&P 500 will also turn green pentagon very soon. So that is something you want to take note of. This morning, the Singapore is up 24 points, right? Because of the bullish that we've seen in here. Let's take a look at our KLCI. right now, which we did not inspect earlier on, but of course you can also check it out from our website here, tradevsa.com, to see what are the main player. And you can see right now, very nicely done, we have the market hitting back to 1560, so it seems to be picking up pretty much in here. And let's take a look, where is it? This morning it's up only 0.33% for the Malaysian market. So Singapore has turned green Pentagon, Malaysia has turned green Pentagon, and the S&P 500 will follow very, very soon in here. So what you have here, the most active SM track in here, the couple of news came out. I think India, I did cover it a bit here. UWC is SCGM up 6%, 3%. So all the tech stocks are pretty much coming back in here. I'm not surprised. This morning, let's take a look at the FBM 30, and oh, look at that, Inari is up 2.2% due to the take back. We did have a sell off in the technology stock. That was a big shake off. So you can see the technology, the rubber gloves are coming back in here. Okay, so that's where we are in here. Let's move on to our next segment. Okay, our next segment, sorry. Let's come back to where we are. Okay, is taking a look at BT, okay, on the Business Times Singapore SG. So one of the stocks they did talk about is Singapore Press Holding SPH AEM. Okay, so if you look at AEM, STI, okay, we all know that that is turning very, very bullish here since the green Pentagon. So AEM is one of the stocks that I was looking at. AWX. So you can see AWX stock chart, stock comment, and that's the one that really holding up at 520, I believe this. Let me just pinch it up in here. Turn red Pentagon, but we have a nice pullback, and that was also due to technology stock that we see the sell-off in KLSE and also seeing also in Singapore, and right now is rebounding. So that was pretty much a shake-off, and they are actually reacting on the news that I talk about, the US FOMC Jerome Powell saying that, hey, maybe we're going to be holding up in here. So that's quite interesting when everybody read the meeting minutes but overreacted to it. And let's see tonight the S&P 500 how well we'll be holding, because tonight we will be doing our US ETF seminars in here, and if you're already member of one of our plugin in here, I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. If you're from the public, you can still join this seminar of ours by becoming a member of our plugin in here. That's all it is. As I said before, year 2022 will be an era where we will see a lot of growth coming in for the US. If you have been struggling from the Malaysian market, maybe it's time to relook at the opportunity presented elsewhere, and I do think that is one way to look into this market that we've seen so far. All right, do let me know your comment and pencil in your stocks that you have and you want me to look at. All right, let's move on to our next segment. Right, is the trade idea that we have so far. Frontcan, Hector, and Coastal. All right, let's take a look at the stocks that we have in here, and switching to a wider chart. So let's look at the stocks. I'm going to bring it up in here. First one is Frontcan. Okay, Frontcan, you can see Frontcan fell greatly. That was the big sellout that we see, 7%, another 2%, and this morning it's pretty much unchanged. But Inari, I think it's some of the big shares are doing the same thing. You can see the big sell-off that we have. Inari was down 3%, down 3%, and today it's up back again. I think it's a bit oversold, because you can just put it side by side with Apple shares, right? And that seems to be going up. So this is for some of those of you who think that this share will recover. Perhaps this may be a good time to pick some of these shares that you have not done so in here. All right, let's move on to the next shares that we have. It's Hector. So Hector Global, which we pick on the 27th December, holding up a pullback going higher and coming back down in here. Not exactly the kind of stocks that's going to blow and go straight up, but having said that, still pretty much in blue trend zone in here, above the ATR stop loss. And if you notice, the market stages still pretty good below the green line in here. Let it march a bit more and see how we go from here. If you look back on this, is one of the real beneficial. We feel that the members are getting it. And let's look at coastal contract and take note, once the market break through this danger line that you see here, okay, all right, that means profit taking is going to come back. Now it's pulling back, so still okay to hold on to this in here, but just take note, if it does break back to this green side in here, you want to take some profit. But if it does go higher a bit, take some profit too, like we've seen over here. That's usually the case. 5 or 6 bars above the danger line, above the zero, this is where you want to take a bit of profit in here. If you have this, definitely this will put you in the right position. We felt that the market stages will make a difference to some of our members that is going to be using this indicator that we have in here. All right, so let's take a look at what we have. And one of the new features we always talk about is the watch list that we have seen above in here, and that's the one we're going to be setting up the respective market. So you can see, so let's switching to a wider chart here, you can see these were the stocks that we put in here: Inari, KGB, Kosan, Public Bank. And Public Bank seems to be doing well, so let's switch back to Public Bank, and that has made a good run ever since then. So switch back to KLSE, Public Bank, PBB. Right, stock chart, stock comment in here, and you can see Public Bank, it's breaking up, and a nice one in here because of the financial, right? So you notice a clue to the sector that we asked you to vote: finance, oil and gas, and technology. Those will be the one that will we feel that will do well in year 2022. All right, so you can see this one, stocks are putting back in here. Many of the stocks that we talked about earlier, MBM are moving up nicely also. Okay, and let's take a look at the next. All right, some of you already penciled in the stocks inside here, and definitely one of them was RCE Cap, which we will take a look at them shortly here. All right, let's move on to the ST2 stocks. All right, so for today episode 12th of January, what we're going to do is going to be looking at sectors, right? We're looking at sectors. Let's look at SMARTRobie in here, and you're looking at ST daily stocks. Okay, and you can see from here many of these stocks. All right, we'll start from number 1. Okay, so number 1, you can see AHB are consumer product. Okay, so consumer product we will hang on first because we want to side with the right sector. This next one is property, not favorite. In construction for number 3. Okay, number 3 is construction. IWC is also property. MRCB is property. Echo West Construction. Malaysia Building Society, that's the one. Okay, remember, we want to be focusing on the finance where we see the sector is hot. If you don't know, you can check out the Robie chart, and you go over to hot sector, right, and you can see energy, finance, and healthcare. All right, so when you see all those 3 on this side here, right, and you know that's how you want to pen it together. And if you move back up again, we got the MBSB, BBMB, AFIN, all right, and OSK, right, those property one. So all in all, you want to be picking those finance sector, okay, like here finance, M-Bank. Okay, let's take a look at M-Bank, okay, and see whether those will be good for you too. Let's take a look. First one, AFIN. You have seen early on, Public Bank already run, right? So we're going to be selecting based on the sector here. Okay, AFIN Bank. You can see AFIN Bank pulling up. Very nice one here. This is AFIN Bank, which is in the stage 2 stage, just like Public Bank continue to go up. What's the next one we have? M-Bank. M-Bank also a staging. Some of these are very nice shares. So M-Bank, and we have BIMB Bank. All right, you can see this one also nice, right? All the stocks, all the banks stocks are jalan. So that would be, I likely to put my money on the banks. Okay, of course the other one will be the hot sector, which is the energy sectors. Okay, check that one out too. Just what I've said in here. Definitely one of them will be Dialog. All right, very nice one. Just turn green pentagon, very nicely done here. Right, let's see whether you can retest back the O at 298. Okay, for that one. So that is the so-called stock trade idea that we talk about in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be putting into this market pentagon guider list. All right, what are those? Just now we add into current watch list. Okay, we put in just now what we have. We have BMIB. Okay, enter, and then we have another one. We have another one is BMB is MBSB. Okay, add that one in. Okay, so once you add that in, you want to set up at maybe edit the stock alert just for a 5%. Okay, so 5% in here from the current price. So what I'll do is 1508 058 times 5%. Want to see whether you can hit 60 cents. Okay, 60 cents. Okay, done, and we save the alert at 60 cents. So we want to see whether you can hit 5% or not. So we have that one. We got Public Bank. Public Bank is already 423 right now. We got Inari. We got MBSB. We got this one in here. MBSB. We had another one 5%. 314 times 5% here. And because remember, bank doesn't go fast. Okay, so that will be $3.30. Hit that one and save. Of course, you can also activate the downside too. Remember, you got the upper bound and the lower bound. So you can set all this on your watch list so we can hear it. When you turn red pentagon, you will also get an alert on this one. So this is one of the ways you want to set up your pentagon on your alert list, and you can do so. And this is very, very easy. You can see both intraday and so forth. All right, it's like the one that we have here. Dialog's looking pretty good. So I'm probably going to set Dialog in here too. So I'll add Dialog in, and DILLOG, hit that one, and so that one goes into it. So you can see another 5% edit. So 2277, 5%, we are talking about 290. Okay, so 290, 5% first, hit that one, click that save, and we are in. So that's how we're going to be setting up our so-called alert that we are ready for. All right, now let's move on to so try it out. All right, activate your monthly pass to get the alert, and you'll get many of this. Of course, tonight will be our US stock selector in here. For those of you who regular join us in here, I think this market is really ripe, and that's why we are showing you step-by-step guide to join the ETF. Okay, ETF. Okay, is the market stages available for stocks in the US? Yes, of course. The market stages is available for all markets. Remember, right? All the markets. So make sure you get the plug-in stage, and you're able to get it also, right? So you can join the US stocks seminar tonight, and you'll get the US stocks. And once you have it on TradingView, you can apply to Bitcoin. You can apply to any other stocks, unlike what you have seen out there. The market stages will definitely help you, put you in the right way. All right, so so tonight at 8 p.m. all right, and we will help you how to build your wealth, growth, and retirement too. So one of the agenda we're going to talk about is constructing the US portfolio ETF for yourself. Okay, US portfolio ETF. So you find that that is something useful for you, which we think we are, you can definitely use that in your major wealth building exercise. I think that's very important though, which we did touch base on wealth building on last Saturday in here. All right, I think that's the only way to go if you are unhappy with your result that you've done previously in here. Perhaps this is something the US stock selector will help you, put you in the right way and manner. Okay, now we are come to our regular stocks in here, and I see some of you have already asking. Okay, for Jeff is asking how to get it. Now the market stages is already available in here. Just ask it from Zach, and you should be able to get it, all our members in here, for all our existing members. Okay, so this is for our plug-in members. Okay, get it on TradingView, all right, you will know, you will know you'll be part of our fraternity if you're in our user Telegram group and also in our members group in here. It's a paid subscription for our plugin in here. Definitely the kind of returns that you make will justify it in here. Let's take a look at RCE Capital. All right, so if you look at RCE Capital in here, so you can see from the market stages, right, it's still got a lot more room to move up. You can see here the last round when it up here, then the market taper off. So right now we can see, right, it hasn't even gone up to the danger zone, just beginning at the what we call the green zone, means ada boleh jalan lagi, you can see on top. So we use the market stages to tell you how much this market can grow. So if it does go up here, you can see, right, when it hit up here, this zone, you can see the market will start to taper off, right? But of course, you only want to exit when the market break down here and get back in again on the green pentagon in case everything. But if you took some profit here and a little bit more here and a little bit more, you can come back in if you want to trade it. This is certainly, of course, if you really want to ride this, you can see the ATR stop loss hasn't been broken down yet, and that's a nice one. I did hope you got it in at 137 for Hawk, okay, because that is the logical entry here on the green pentagon. So follow the green pentagon, you will benefit greatly for that one. Okay, any more questions in here? We have Soon, okay, Soon Hok Sing, I think that's the one. I think I replied you already. Okay, let's take a look at the Hatta Lega. Okay, Hatta Lega yesterday has a little bit of sell off. We have a breakout in here, turning green pentagon, but any selling, you can see, so it will try to retest back at the 650 level in here, like it did in November. Okay, you can see back so this is what we are looking at here, but need to see so you can see here, very nice, right? None is in red zone, so this market, I believe, Top Glove will continue to move higher. All right, so great benefits with our market stages plugin in here. Get it from us. All right, any more other stocks? Okay, do you want me to look at? Okay, if not, let's move on. And don't forget, get the free 100 credit if you can, right, while it's still stock last. Happy 2022 in here. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here. Our YouTube channel, it's the one that we communicate with all our members, and a lot of our lessons are archived in here. And don't forget to share our Telegram channel in here. And don't forget to give us a review in our Google Play Store. That's the one over here, Google Play Store. And I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. The US stock selector Watchlist will be Zoom available, will be on live Zoom, myself and my trainer Coach Arif as well as Zach at 8 o'clock, and we will go on to about 10:30 on Wednesday and Thursday. So the next 2 nights will be our US ETF night. So make sure you join us. Lots of strategy sharing, lots of portfolio construction in here, and see you tonight. Bye bye.